Guys, I wanted to do a video because I actually looked back at my video from yesterday and I realized that I got off on a tangent from what my actual point was. So I wanted to do a really quick one, and it's funny, I'm sitting here, so I have I've got Russell Brunson in my playing in my car, and I was like, oh shit, I still have, like, I never got back to my point yesterday. I'm like, I should make a quick video about that. So yesterday, if you saw the last one, I started to talk about people's like mental barriers, right? And one of the things, of course my battery is dying. One of the things, excuse me, while I'm also plugging in my phone and driving and shifting and all of that, I am super safe. So it's funny because, okay, before I even get into that, since I am distracted, it's funny that Russell Brunson's doing this like marketing in my car thing, and this is literally like tons and tons of his like 5-minute podcasts, like 5 to 10 minute podcasts. Excuse me, sorry guys, I think I'm charging now. Because I've always done so many videos in my car, going like way back, like when I had to, you know, because I started realizing, like, in terms of communicating to teams, you know, you have so many different communicators and a lot of people have a hard time reading lengthy emails, so I started doing these videos to communicate to them, because I found that they would, you know, if they wouldn't read the email, they wouldn't, like, I would get more of them to actually get the message, because they would watch the video, even though they're supposed to be doing it. You'd be amazed. But it worked. It was a good way to communicate to people. So I've been doing this video crap in my car, and they would always make fun of me because I, like, obviously I'm going down the road, but you see both my hands going. Sometimes I am actually stopped, but at the moment I'm driving. Anyways, okay, so back on task. So the thing I was starting to get into yesterday was mental barriers. And the thing about mental barriers is funny because we've been talking about it with my coach, and I mean, like, there's a deep psychology there. And it was funny because my friend that I started to talk about, you know, I was saying that they were like trying to poke holes in like a great opportunity for themselves. And you know, there's a little bit of like shielding yourself from rejection. You know, that's one of the things that you tend to do. But also, you know, when you're really comfortable doing something, like if you're really comfortable at a job and you've been working there for a long time, most people are not seekers of change. In fact, change is often associated with discomfort, and your brain naturally is hardwired to protect you from discomfort. So your brain will try to divert you from doing, you know, from dealing with change, because it's trying to shield you from the discomfort that comes with change. However, change is good. Oh, what a jerk. Sorry, I am driving down the road, and this guy in this truck, this guy's hauling a boat, and this guy just had to pull out. You couldn't have waited, jerk. Either way, so I swear, like, one of the things I've always thought about doing, totally on an offshoot, is I have such road rage. I've always thought about doing like compilation videos of myself on the road, because I can be doing a million things, I still pay more attention and drive with more intention than half these people. Like this asshole, excuse my language, who pulled out in front of that truck back there that was hauling the boat, so that he had to get on his brakes because he doesn't want to, you know, put himself into a dangerous situation where he's getting too close to this guy. Oh my God. What is these people? There's this guy on the side of the road. What is this madness? So he gets out here, and what does he do? He freaking rides the left lane and clogs up traffic. I'm finally getting, now I have the window. God. Anyway, I've really thought about like doing compilation videos, because Florida drivers are horrible. I love going back to Massachusetts because holy crap, people actually drive like A, they know what they're doing, like B, they're not supposed to freaking just be assholes in the way all the time. Oh my God, I just love it. Anyways, And it's totally kosher to ride someone's ass in Massachusetts, because usually the only thing you get on the highway, I mean, occasionally you get that jerk who will just sit there, but most of the time, like, if they're not already like getting out of your way, if they're just sitting there, they might have like zoned out, and then they're like, oh crap, and they get out of your way. It's amazing. Anyway, that's my tirade. So yeah, we put up these mental barriers, and it's really just meant to protect us, but it's not. You know, what it's really doing is it's shielding you from discomfort, but that discomfort, like going for a new job that's a great opportunity, is a good kind of discomfort. Yes, it will be uncomfortable to have to do something new, and you'll feel vulnerable, learning new things and potentially making mistakes. God forbid, because people hate making mistakes. But yeah, your brain just is naturally hardwired to do that. And so, you know, you see a lot of that. And I was actually, in the video yesterday, I was talking about, you know, some of the people who are in the same program as me, who are going through this same marketing process as me, you know, and I hear some of them, and I can just tell, like, you know, it's a fear, like, fearful to launch, you know, rather than like failure to launch. It's like fearful to launch. Hopefully they don't fail to launch. I'm sure they won't. They have great support. But it's that fear of, you know, and that in itself is the fear of failure. You know, like I was saying like earlier about the fear of rejection. You know, these things hold people back from action, and there's nothing but good on the other side of all of that. You know what I mean? Like, the only time people really truly fail is when they don't follow through. And I mean, I would be hard pressed. I'm already in my head. I'm saying that's a bold statement. You could be wrong about that, but you know, I want to say I'm not. And if you come across something where you could prove me wrong, go ahead. But I bet you I could probably still find wherever it was that they failed to follow through. And usually it's because there's some kind of massive failure, and, you know, they might not push through aggressively enough, or I mean, and okay, no, you know what, I do take it back, because I think I'm thinking on small scale, because usually I'll say, okay, so maybe that's where what I should say. Small scale, it's usually something like you have had some sort of small failure, and you don't push through it to keep, you could have kept going and actually made it, but people get afraid and scared off by that smaller failure, and so they don't keep pushing for the big reward that they're really trying to get to, which is kind of a sad thing. On the large scale, you know, established companies, they can totally, you know, you see them, you know, you see stocks fail, and that's because they made, you know, poor business decisions, whether it was poor marketing decisions, poor product development decisions, poor, you know, money allocation decisions, poor whatever it was, or organizational structure, whatever it was. There's a lot of different ways that it can go, but I would say on the small scale, a lot of that failure really comes from, a lot, not all. Sometimes somebody just has a terrible idea. Sometimes somebody has no idea what they're really doing, and they had no business doing it. Although even those people, if they had pushed through and said, like, recognize, I have no idea what I'm doing, get the people who know what they're doing to help, they, you know, you can still push through these barriers. I say on the small scale, a lot of these people launching, you know, they hit these barriers, and rather than follow through and push through them, you know, they let it stop them in their tracks, and then, which really sucks. It sucks. I am really excited to be doing what I'm doing, and I'm really happy to be pushing through the grind, and I know people in my life that I just wish so much that they would do the same. I can't do it for them though, so, you know, I wish they would do the same. I hope, like, and this is part of why I want to do this. I want to document this. I want people to, you know, find that courage and find the balls to just make the leap. And I'm not talking about just into entrepreneurship. I'm talking about whether it's a new job, or whether it is a new business or a side business or something. I mean, just, you know, taking a chance. I mean, it could be outside of business and jobs and everything. Just taking a chance. I really, really, really want to see, you know, some people that I can think of off the top of my head doing it. I won't call you out, but I love you. You guys have a great day. I'm glad I remembered to come back to that, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.